Right now, billions of pounds of raw chicken are racing through an invisible frozen highway, and most people have absolutely no idea it exists. KFC serves over 26,000 restaurants in 145 countries. Every single piece of chicken must arrive at exactly the right temperature or it's thrown out. We're talking about moving over 1 billion pounds of chicken every single year through a cold chain spanning 6 continents without ever breaking temperature. It started in 1952 when Harlan Sanders realized his fried chicken had a problem. It couldn't survive more than a few hours without losing quality. Today we're going deep inside that solution, from the moment a chicken is born on a farm all the way to the fryer inside your local KFC. Step 1 begins on contracted farms across the American Midwest, where over 700 million broiler chickens are raised exclusively for KFC's supply chain annually. From above, these operations look almost alien. Perfectly engineered environments where temperature, light cycles, and feed schedules are controlled down to the minute. But before a single chicken reaches the cold chain, it must meet KFC's precise biological specifications, and that process starts at the very beginning of life. KFC's supplier contracts specify exact breeds, primarily the Ross 308 broiler, engineered over decades to grow to processing weight in just 47 days. 47 days. That's shockingly fast. In 1925, it took chickens 4 months to reach the same weight. Selective breeding changed everything for fast food. Inside the grow-out barns, conditions are locked in. 74 degrees Fahrenheit, 12-hour light cycles, and precisely measured feed delivered on automated conveyor lines. The feed itself is a precise science, a mix of corn, soybean meal, and vitamins calibrated to maximize lean breast meat, which KFC prizes most. Veterinarians make weekly visits to each flock, monitoring weight gain, checking for illness, and ensuring no antibiotics enter the supply chain without full documentation and approval. KFC requires its suppliers to maintain GPS-tracked records for every single flock, creating a digital paper trail that runs billions of data points per year. After 47 days, the flocks are ready. Trained catching crews arrive at night, working carefully in low light to minimize bird stress before transport begins. Why at night? Because chickens are calmer in darkness, reducing stress hormones that can actually affect the flavor and texture of the final product. The loaded crates are stacked onto specially designed ventilated transport trucks, each one holding up to 5,000 birds in carefully separated climate-managed compartments. Here's where the cold chain truly begins. Every transport truck is equipped with real-time temperature sensors transmitting data back to KFC's central monitoring system continuously. The journey from farm to processing plant must be completed in under 4 hours. Any longer risks temperature deviation that KFC standards will not tolerate. Ahead lies a facility processing over 500,000 chickens every single day, one of the most precisely engineered food factories on the planet. As trucks back into the receiving docks, automated weigh stations record every crate's exact load, logging the data before a single bird enters the building. Every bird entering this plant has a traceable identity, linked digitally to its exact farm, flock number, birth date, and entire 47-day feeding history. Inside the plant, temperature is the first obsession. Receiving areas are held at a constant 50 degrees Fahrenheit, creating the first official link in the cold chain. Live birds move into the controlled atmosphere stunning system, a humane process using CO2 to render them unconscious before processing begins, required by KFC globally. KFC switched to controlled atmosphere stunning over a decade ago. Studies showed it reduces stress hormones by 40%, directly improving meat tenderness and final product quality. From stunning, birds enter the automated processing line, moving at precisely controlled speeds on overhead shackle conveyors through the plant's carefully sequenced production zones.
This single facility processes up to 180 birds per minute. That's 3 birds every single second, running continuously across 2 full production shifts every day.
After scalding and feather removal, both handled by automated machines inside sealed stainless steel chambers, each carcass moves into the evisceration zone for internal processing. The evisceration equipment is so precise it operates at tolerances measured in millimeters. Modern machines reducing contamination risk by a factor of 10 compared to manual processing. Every carcass then enters the inside-outside bird washer, a pressurized cabinet that blasts chlorinated water at 60 psi through interior and exterior surfaces simultaneously. At this point, the internal temperature of each carcass is still around 100 degrees, and the cold chain's most critical mission is about to begin right here. The chilling system is where modern food engineering truly earns its reputation, a sequential three-stage process dropping core temperature from 100 degrees to 40 in under 90 minutes. Stage 1, the pre-chiller. Carcasses submerge in a 34-degree Fahrenheit chlorinated water bath agitated by massive paddle systems, dropping temperature by 30 degrees in 15 minutes. Counterflow design means birds and water move in opposite directions, ensuring the coldest water always contacts the warmest birds for maximum heat transfer efficiency throughout them. This single pre-chiller tank holds over 10,000 gallons of water, recirculated, filtered, and re-chilled continuously around the clock to maintain that precise 34-degree target temperature.
Stage 2 is the main chiller, an even colder bath at 28 degrees Fahrenheit, pushing carcass core temperature down to the federally required 40-degree safe threshold. The USDA mandates reaching 40 degrees within 4 hours of slaughter. KFC system hits that target in under 90 minutes, giving a 2.5-hour safety buffer every run.
After chilling, carcasses drain on a line for exactly 8 minutes, a rest period that allows surface water to shed before the cut and break station ahead. Now the cut and break room, where whole chilled carcasses are transformed into the specific parts KFC needs: breasts, thighs, drumsticks, and wings, all separated at high speed. If you're amazed by this process so far, smash that like button, because what's coming next in this cold chain will absolutely blow your mind completely. Automated cone-line portioning machines now take over, robotic arms guided by computer vision separating each carcass into 9 precise cuts in under 4 seconds flat. KFC's global menu demands exact portion weights. A breast fillet must hit between 5.5 and 6.2 ounces, or it gets automatically rejected and rerouted for reprocessing. Every portion that passes weight inspection then moves through an X-ray bone detection system, scanning over 180 pieces per minute for any bone fragment measuring 2 millimeters or larger. If a bone fragment is detected, a precisely timed air jet fires 0.3 seconds later, blasting that single piece off the line into a rejection bin automatically. Cleared portions now enter the most temperature-sensitive zone in the entire facility, the marination room, held at a strict 34 degrees Fahrenheit around the clock. KFC's original recipe marinade contains 11 herbs and spices, a formula so protected that no single facility handles the complete blend, split across 2 separate supplier locations. Half the blend is mixed at one facility in Louisville, the other half at a completely separate supplier, then combined only at the final blending stage under strict supervision. The combined marinade arrives at processing plants in sealed temperature-controlled containers, immediately held in cold storage upon arrival, never exceeding 38 degrees at any point during transit. Portion and chicken pieces are loaded into massive stainless steel vacuum tumblers, 500-gallon drums that rotate at precisely 8 RPM while marinade is injected under negative pressure. Vacuum tumbling at negative 14 psi opens the meat's muscle fibers, allowing the marinade to penetrate up to 8 millimeters deep, far beyond surface level seasoning alone. The tumbling cycle runs for exactly 90 minutes, temperature monitored continuously inside the drum, never allowed to rise above 40 degrees throughout the entire marination process. One processing facility runs up to 24 tumbler drums simultaneously, marinating over 60,000 pounds of chicken every single shift to keep up with KFC's global demand. After marination, pieces are rack-loaded onto specialized stainless steel trays and moved into blast chill rooms, where temperatures drop to 28 degrees in under 20 minutes. Blast chilling at minus 30-degree airflow is a critical food safety step, rapidly passing through the 40 to 140-degree danger zone, where bacterial growth accelerates most dangerously. Blast-chilled portions are now staged in holding coolers at exactly 28 degrees, where they wait in a perfectly controlled cold sleep before entering the breading line ahead. The breading line is one of the most closely guarded operations in all of fast food, a precisely engineered system replicating the original hand breading technique at industrial scale. Chilled pieces enter the breading machine at exactly 32 degrees, cold enough that the flour mixture adheres in a specific way that creates KFC's signature craggy, layered crust. The flour mixture itself is temperature controlled, stored at 55 degrees, preventing moisture absorption that would ruin the coating's texture before it ever reaches the fryer. After breading, pieces undergo a final pre-freeze, a revolutionary step KFC pioneered that locks the coating permanently to the chicken before it ever reaches a restaurant fryer. The pre-freeze tunnel hits -40 degrees Fahrenheit, the exact temperature at which Fahrenheit and Celsius scales intersect, and the point where coating adhesion becomes permanent and irreversible. From the pre-freeze tunnel, pieces transfer directly onto spiral freezer conveyors, towering helical systems that gently carry chicken upward through progressively colder temperature zones automatically. Each spiral freezer tower stands 22 feet tall and holds over 4,000 pounds of product simultaneously, with a belt length of nearly 600 feet coiled inside one unit. At the spiral's peak, core product temperature has reached -10 degrees Fahrenheit, a deep freeze state that essentially pauses all biological activity inside the chicken entirely. At -10 degrees, bacterial growth stops completely, not just slows, but fully halts. The chicken is essentially preserved in a biological pause lasting months without any degradation. Fully frozen pieces exit the spiral system and immediately enter automated individual quick freeze tunnels, a final IQF stage ensuring every single piece freezes separately without clumping together. IQF frozen pieces move to automated weigh and fill stations, robotic systems that portion exact case weights of 40 pounds, sealed into moisture barrier poly-lined corrugated master cases. Each master case receives a printed thermal label encoding 22 separate data fields, including product code, plant ID, processing date, flock number, and a unique cold chain batch identifier. Sealed cases immediately enter a blast freeze tunnel holding -20 degrees, bringing case core temperature to safe shipping levels before palletization and cold storage entry. The finished frozen cases now enter cold storage warehouses that are architectural marvels, some spanning over 500,000 square feet, maintained at a constant -10 degrees year-round. Share this with someone who'd never believe a bucket of fried chicken requires this level of engineering, because we haven't even reached the most complex part yet. Inside these warehouses, automated storage and retrieval systems, or ASRS, manage millions of cases using computer-guided cranes that never once require a human hand. The warehouse management system tracks every single pallet using FIFO, first in, first out, ensuring oldest inventory always ships first, maximizing freshness across the entire network.
When a restaurant order is triggered, the system automatically selects pallets, routes cranes, and stages product at the dock, all without a single human decision required.
KFC's distribution network operates 47 dedicated refrigerated distribution centers across North America, each one strategically positioned to reach any restaurant within a maximum 24-hour delivery window. Refrigerated transport trucks loaded at -10 degrees are sealed with tamper-evident tape and GPS temperature loggers before leaving any distribution center dock door. KFC's transport monitoring platform records temperature readings inside each truck every 90 seconds, transmitting data live to logistics headquarters, flagging any deviation greater than 2 degrees immediately. If any temperature deviation is detected mid-route, an automatic protocol activates, rerouting the truck to the nearest approved cold facility within 45 minutes, no exceptions permitted. On any given day, over 3,200 KFC dedicated refrigerated trucks are simultaneously in motion across America, collectively carrying enough frozen chicken to feed 15 million people daily. Connecting the logger to download the truck's thermal history. History is downloading now, the graph is populating. Compliance confirmed, safe to proceed with unloading. If the thermal history shows any deviation beyond approved parameters, the entire delivery is refused on the spot. Return to the distribution center without a single piece unloaded. Approved deliveries are unloaded directly into restaurant walk-in freezers, purpose-built cold rooms that must maintain -10 degrees before any product is permitted to enter. KFC restaurants are required to log freezer temperatures every 2 hours, 12 manual checks per day, every day, creating a compliance paper trail that corporate auditors review quarterly. When kitchen prep begins, frozen product moves from freezer to refrigerator for a controlled 24-hour thaw, never left at room temperature, never rushed, never shortcut under any circumstance. That 24-hour controlled thaw at 38 degrees is not just food safety protocol, it actively continues the marination process, allowing flavors to deepen and penetrate even further into the meat. After exactly 24 hours, thawed pieces are hand-inspected by trained kitchen staff, checking color, texture, and temperature with a probe before they ever touch the breading station. Pieces passing inspection are hand-breaded at the restaurant level in KFC's proprietary flour blend, a second breading layer adding the final textural dimension before pressure frying begins. The pressure fryer is KFC's most iconic piece of equipment, operating at 250 degrees Fahrenheit under 12 psi of pressure, cooking chicken in precisely 8 to 10 minutes. Pressure frying was Colonel Sanders' actual invention. He discovered that cooking under pressure sealed in juices while cooking the interior faster, creating that uniquely moist result inside. When the timer hits 0, pressure is released through a controlled valve. Then the basket rises to reveal perfectly golden, crispy-coated chicken at an internal temperature of 165 degrees. From a live chick on a farm 47 days ago to this golden piece of chicken, the cold chain held perfect temperature control across every single one of those steps. Here are the numbers that make this cold chain almost impossible to comprehend. KFC processes over 2.7 million individual chicken pieces globally on a single average Tuesday. The total cold chain infrastructure supporting KFC globally represents over $14 billion in refrigeration equipment, vehicles, warehousing, and monitoring technology operating simultaneously right now. If KFC's annual chicken supply were laid end to end, the pieces would circle the entire Earth over 4 times. That is the scale of this operation. KFC's cold chain generates over 40 terabytes of temperature monitoring data annually, more raw data than most national weather agencies collect across their entire sensor networks each year. The entire cold chain, from farm to fryer, involves over 400 individual temperature checkpoints that every single piece of KFC chicken must successfully pass through without exception. In the time you've been watching this video, KFC's global cold chain has processed, frozen, shipped, and served over 180,000 individual pieces of chicken across 6 continents. And here is perhaps the most remarkable fact of all. When executed perfectly, the cold chain is completely invisible. You simply taste the result, consistently perfect fried chicken every time. From a single chick on a contracted Midwest farm to a perfectly crispy piece in your bucket, over 400 checkpoints, 47 days, and billions in infrastructure, all for you. If this blew your mind, subscribe right now. Every week we go deep inside the world's most extraordinary factories and reveal the invisible engineering all around you. Next time you open that bucket, remember the invisible frozen highway that brought it there. The cold chain never sleeps. And now, neither will your curiosity.